Hi friends, welcome to A to Z Learning channel. There are many occasions when you as a parent do recognize that there are certain things that we must not do in front of kids. Usually we get this recognition, get this feeling after we have already done something wrong. There is no practical guide available to any parents. There is no way you can learn this in your schools or colleges or from your parents or from your friends. This is something you just experience. Today, in this video, we will help you understand four key things that one must avoid in front of kids. This is all about the right nurturing. This is all about the values and behavior. But in our day-to-day practice, we pick up the habits, we pick up the things that we regret later on, wish that you had not done those in front of kids. So this video, as I said, we will share with you the four key things that one must avoid doing in front of kids. But a lot of people, I think, recognize that what they should not do. But it is very hard for them to know how to avoid those things. Sometimes these things, due to pressure, frustrations, come quite naturally to all of us. Therefore, it gets really, really hard to know exactly how one should avoid doing the things that we should not be doing in front of kids. So this video will clearly talk about what not to do in front of kids, but it will also give you a very practical how to avoid those things information as well. So it's going to be an important video. If you have had those moments of regret when in hindsight you have realized, gosh, I should not have done this in front of my kids, then this is the important video for you. So without further ado, let's start our video. As I said, the, the video has got two sections. The first part is basically going to be focusing on what are those key things that one must avoid doing in front of kids. And as we talk about what, we will also share with you how to avoid those things. So we'll try to kind of keep it very, very simple, very, very practical for you. And as you go through this, as you watch, as you listen to our video, if you have any comments, suggestions, please do let us know through the comments. And if you really like our content, then please do press the like button and share this video with your friends and family. Okay, let's start. So the first most important thing that we as a parent must avoid doing in front of kid is never ever fight about money issues. Yeah, I repeat, never ever fight about money issues in front of kids. It is very, very natural. We are all human beings. We're all going through various amount of stress, various amount of commitment, and there are occasions when we feel really, really hard pressed for money matters. Therefore, it comes naturally for us to be start discussing, start fighting about the money issues. But it's very important that you don't fight about money issues in front of kids. There are reasons for this. The one main reason for fighting about money issues in front of kids is that kids will grow up with a very critical kind of focus on the money matters. Their thinking, their thought process, their conduct will be all centered around money, which is not the kind of right nurturing for any child. Child has to be developed across all perspective, where money is one part, but the right value system, the right culture, the right behavior, and kindness, that is very, very important for kids to be learning about. So having talked about what to avoid in terms of money issues, let's now touch on how one can do this. There are simple two steps that you can take. First of all, have the conviction and have the discipline that you will always set aside a fixed time to discuss money matters in the family, money matters with your partner, with your spouse. You could kind of set a time when kids are either out playing or kids are in bed sleeping. It's very important that you deal with money issues in a very matured manner. So, if you set aside a fixed time in the day when you talk about those things, you'll be more thoughtful, you'll be more constructive about those issues. If you do these things in the heat of moment, then chances are that you'll be very negative about. The second thing you could do to avoid fighting about money matters in front of kid is make sure that you never kind of blame your spouse or partner or family member about this, or even anyone else. Sometimes it comes again very naturally to us that whatever hardship we are facing, whatever problem we have in hand, we always look for someone else to blame for it. I think instead, you should work as a team with your family, with your spouse, with your partner to think that through and make sure that you keep it positive, keep it constructive while you find the solution. There is also an opportunity, particularly if you've got older kids who are high school going or college going, you can involve them also in terms of discussing those matters, but make sure that you don't blame anyone. You think about this is the problem, let's put our head together and come up with what is the possible option we have to solve it or minimize the damage that that issue has brought in. I think it will do a wonderful thing for the kids because kids will learn to balance. Kids will be more cautious that these things are not easy. But with your help, with your collective discussion, sometime you may get ideas from kids to solve it. Or kids themselves may kind of provide a solution by saying that, okay, if issue is about buying something that child wants, but if child is grown up, old enough to be involved in those discussions, they may appreciate that, okay, our budget doesn't allow, our money issues don't allow, therefore let's delay it to a later point. So you can involve kids to kind of make sure that it is done properly. Now let's move to the second thing that you must avoid in front of kids. Don't ever have the comparison with others in your conversation. Comparison with other is such an evil habit that it will make sure that your best performance also start to look inferior because there will always be someone who's better than you. Even the best athletes who compete in the Olympic race or Olympic tournament, they also find that there is only one winner there, and next year even that one winner may not be able to win the kind of first prize. So even the best performance of highly professional individual may look inferior when you compare it with others. So comparison with other must be strictly avoided by you. How can you do this? You can focus on the results, what your child has done or what result you have got. Result could be, for example, you were expecting a promotion in your office but it hasn't happened. There's two ways one can deal with it. One could be that, oh, so and so has got promotion, he's the favorite of boss or he's the favorite of owner, and he or she always gets all the benefit. I am deserving case but I'm not getting promotion. So that comparison with other of kind of accepting the promotion outcome is wrong. Whereas instead, in front of kid particularly, you could say that, okay, promotion hasn't happened, but and my logical conclusion is that I need to improve in my communication. I need to pick up additional responsibility, or maybe I need to kind of decide to move on to a different organization. So that is all which is in your control and is constructive. That will send the right message to your kids. But if you compare it with others and blame them in terms of them getting all the kind of goodies and you are losing out every time there is a chance for you to get something, that is wrong. So must avoid that. The other piece you could also do is that when you are, there'll be occasions when you'll have to kind of benchmark with someone else. But there is a way to do it. You make sure that you don't overly focus on the success results or financial success or exam result success or whatever that is. Don't focus on that outcome too much when you are comparing. Focus on the input that was in the hands of those successful people. So if your child and his friend are both participating in a school tournament where your child doesn't win, whereas the his friend wins the tournament, instead of saying that, look how good he is, he's winning all the tournament, he's so you are rubbish, or all that sort of comparison, you could kind of get into conversation where you simply say things like, he put in 3 hours every day for training. He went in the evening to kind of make sure that he's training physically as well. So all those sort of input pieces which were in control, which were different from your child, so that child understand where he needs to or she needs to improve on. That sort of benchmarking and comparison is okay, but comparison on the basis of output or result must be strictly avoided. Now let's talk about the third piece. Third piece is that don't act like a lazy person in front of kids. There are many occasions when we suddenly find out that because of untimely action on our part, we are paying penalty on our monthly bills. We are kind of facing hardship because, for example, you don't pay electricity bill on time, then electricity supply may be cut. If you don't pay the school fees on time, then school messages may come, and it may be embarrassing for your child in the school. So make sure that you never act like a lazy person or do things always in the 11th hour. So that sort of behavior will make your kids realize that life is easy, there is always tomorrow to do things. That is something you don't want them to be learning. You want them to be learning about planning, organized, and focused. And how can you do that? You can do simple thing. For example, fix a date in a month when you make sure that you're settling all your bills. So kids will see that there is this date. They will see you kind of taking stock of all your bills and making the payment so that there is no surprise in terms of unintended consequences. Similarly, if you have to kind of go to a shopping, you can make sure that you're clearly setting the list. If the plan is to go at 11 o'clock, then make sure that you're ready by 11 o'clock. If you have to go to friends party, make sure that you kind of clearly convey that, okay, friends have invited us for 8 in the evening. Make sure that you are there by 8 there, because these are the things that children will learn, and they start to value the time, and they will never be lazy about the actions that they need to control. And the fourth piece is make sure that you are encouraging the delayed gratification. I think it's slightly kind of complicated. For example, let me explain this with an example. Delayed gratification is very important. Your children need to learn that they have to earn whatever you are buying, as against they put hands on something and you get them those things. They will never appreciate that they really liked it, they desperately needed it, and they have now earned it, and that's why they are getting it. So that is called delayed gratification. If you immediately buy thing that they put hands on, you are not giving them chance to be reflective about, okay, why I'm buying this, why do I need this, is it really going to be my need for next few weeks or months or whatever the period is. I think that is very important for them to be reflective about it. So therefore, delayed gratification is the most important thing. There are simple ways you can do it. You can make sure that every time there is a temptation to buy a new thing, you are always kind of taking some time out to think about it. You are making sure that the price that is there for the good is the cheapest possible. You must do your research to find out which is the best place to buy the same good or article. The other thing you can do is that you always make a list when you go to a mall or shopping, grocery and all that, and stick to it. So kids will learn that there is a budget, there is a planning. If you've decided to buy 10 things, then stick to buying those 10 things. Because 11th item, if you kind of add into that, that may throw up your budget, that may throw up a challenge that you may not have enough money, or you later on realize that, gosh, oh, I picked it up, but actually I didn't really need it. So it's very important that you make a list of doing things, and then you must be sticking to it. So I hope these four things, which are simple things but are very, very important thing, that we as a parent must avoid doing in front of kids, because the risk is that kids will learn wrong behavior, a wrong value system, or they will never appreciate what you're doing for them. So it's very important to bring these sort of four things, uh, the discipline of avoiding these four things in your day-to-day life. And we have shared with you the practical guide in terms of how you can do it. So we sincerely hope that you like the content of this video. Again, I would urge, if you really like this, then please press the like button and share with your friends. And one other thing I would say, that if you've not subscribed our channel as yet, please do subscribe our channel and become part of our viewers community. Our viewers community decide the topic that we pick up for the future videos. So if you become part of our viewer community by subscribing our channel, you will have the chance to suggest the topic that matters to you, that are important to you, and we will be more than happy to make our next video on those topics. So thank you so much for watching our video. Good luck.